Good afternoon to everyone. Greetings from Frankfurt, Germany. I'm here and I'm joined by Mike Preston, our Director of Economic Development. It's about 10 o'clock here, a little bit after. We've had a long day, but it's been a very successful trip thus far in terms of marketing Arkansas, meeting with key people both in support of the industry that we have in Arkansas, but also expanding opportunities. It started out, of course, in France at the air show, and I want to emphasize a theme that came out of there, which is the opportunities for Arkansas in the defense industry. The talk at the show is, in fact, when we since we've been here, there's been two security incidences, one in Paris and one also in Brussels. But clearly there's an awareness that we're going to be investing more money both as a nation in defense as well as our allies investing more in defense. And this is an opportunity for Arkansas with Lockheed Martin, down in Camden, with Raytheon and with Aerojet Rocketdyne, some of our key defense contractors that we were able to support here, as well as those in the aerospace industry. As you moved on to Germany, we were in Cologne yesterday and Frankfurt today. And the theme in Germany has been that we remain committed in Arkansas. And there's been some concern expressed in Europe about the United States' commitment to global trade. And whenever we are telling them what we're doing in Arkansas, both by the fact that we're leading in the growth of foreign direct investment, plus what specific companies in Germany have invested in Arkansas, is quite impressive to the European audience. And the theme, of course, is that we continue to push for global opportunities from Arkansas, and that's really reassuring to the European audience. Thirdly, we've been able to support, as you can see from some of our social media, whenever we have a meeting with Lanxess that owns Chemtura down in El Dorado, one of the bromine industries, in fact, only one of two bromine production facilities in the world, is right there in El Dorado. We met with the owner of Chemtura. We talked to the principals, the board members, and they are very appreciative and excited about the opportunities that they have in Arkansas and the partnership they have with the state. We move on and here in Cologne and then in Frankfurt, we have the opportunity in Cologne to meet with SMS Group, that is a supplier in the steel industry. And that has been an encouraging message to them to see the investment in Arkansas, the fact that a governor is here paying attention to their investment and saying, we hope that we can continue the expansion and success in the steel industry in Arkansas. And it's not just about supporting the existing industries, though, and a message for what's happening in Arkansas. It is also about new opportunity. Today, I just finished late this evening with a speaking engagement, actually, to a town hall meeting with Citigroup employees and banking and the financial institution, which is so prominent here in Frankfurt. It's the financial capital of Germany, and it very well could be in the future a financial capital of all of Europe. But meeting with the financial institutions reflects the fact that they are looking for investment opportunities in the United States. And when I can showcase what is happening in Arkansas, that puts it on the horizon. We will be heading to Israel and look at the technology opportunities in Israel and partnership that we might have with that country and with the businesses there. So those are a couple of things that have happened here. I believe it's been a very successful trip thus far. Excitement about Arkansas, engagement on the world stage with what is happening in our state, and the support that we give for our nation through our leading industries. And I want to provide Mike Preston, Director Preston, an opportunity to make a comment about the trip as well. Then we'll take questions.
Well, thank you, Governor, and hello to everyone back in Little Rock. Hope all is well there. As the Governor said, it's a little after 10. It's been a long day, and very successful trip this far, and I go back to 2 years ago when we were at the Paris Air Show and comparing it. The thing that stands out to me is 2 years ago, people had heard of Arkansas and they knew a little bit about us thanks to Tyson and Walmart and some of our global activities, but now we're really on the map. People know things. They know about the momentum that we have in our state. They know about our low unemployment rate. They know about some of these large projects that have happened out of China. They know about the great things that are happening with Dassault and some of our other companies in our state. So it's nice and it's refreshing to see and to walk into the air show and people see Arkansas and they recognize us for being an economic, powerhouse is maybe a strong word, but I think that's one that people are starting to realize that Arkansas is on the map. And as the governor alluded to, a lot of enthusiasm there at the air show of what's happening in the aero defense industry, and Arkansas continues to be a big player in that. And then over here in Germany as well, when we can talk about investments that have been made in SMS Group and the steel industry that's continuing to grow, and a great company like Lanxess that now has over 500 employees in the state of Arkansas thanks to a $2.5 billion acquisition of the company earlier this year. So for the governor to go and pay them a visit just speaks volumes and the future and potential growth for a company like that. But and then following up today here in Germany, in Frankfurt specifically, with a lot of bankers in the financial sector to talk about investment in Arkansas. So it's great for us to lay that groundwork with the investment bankers who are looking to deploy capital, and they want to know all the places in the world where it can be deployed. And when they see the governor and they hear him talk about the great things that are going on and the low unemployment and the balanced budget, that means the great things to investment bankers. So then they see it as a safe place to do an investment, and they're going to locate some of these projects in Arkansas is our hope. Great trip so far. We're about halfway into it. Looking forward to the rest of it into Israel tomorrow. With that, Governor, I'll turn it back to you.
Before I take questions, I wanted to add that I really appreciate the commitment and work of the plant board in reviewing the dicamba issue. I followed it very closely. In fact, before I left on last Saturday, I met with some of the director of the plant board and some farmers discussing this particular issue, and I'm delighted with the attention they're paying it. I know it's a challenge for them, but they're doing really some hard work and heavy lifting on this, and I continue to follow it closely. With that, happy to take any questions.
Governor, you mentioned that you had, this is Wesley Brown with Talk Business and Politics, you had mentioned some of the concerns that some of the European trading partners had expressed concerning the administration in Washington and some of the trade issues. What were they saying about that, and how did you respond to some of those concerns?
Well, of course, President Trump has been in Germany. He's been in the European theater, and he has emphasized how we're going to be tougher in trade. We're going to have manufacturing stored in the United States. And I think that sent a signal that could have been mistaken in its intent. The intent is that we're going to bring manufacturing back to our country. We don't want to neglect that and just hand that over to our neighbors. And some of our European friends take that as a withdrawal from the global stage. And I assured them that that's far from the case, and that President Trump, for example, in China, he will be he met with the president of China, President Xi. He assured them of global trade. He's continued to do that. So I think it's a negotiating position which has served us well. It's already strengthened us. More people are keeping their manufacturing sites in the United States versus move them overseas. So I think my comments to them gives them a lot of confidence and reassurance. Europe has always looked to the United States as the world leader in the economy, in terms of trade, and in terms of defense. And so they're very careful to the nuances of our dialogue, and anything that indicates a retreat from that causes them concern. So my message, I think, has really been timely for them and reassuring to them.
Governor, this is Andrew with AP. On a stateside question, I understand tomorrow there's supposed to be the draft of the Senate healthcare bill coming out. Wanted to see, what are you hoping to see in that different from what was in the House health care bill, and also how much have you talked to Senator Cotton, who apparently has been one of the people working behind closed doors on this legislation?
I talked to Senator Cotton actually last week on this particular subject. I wanted to stay informed as to his approach and how the Senate is approaching this. And, I think there's a big question mark as how the Senate is going to reach a majority to pass this bill. Senator Cotton needs to comment and Senator Bozeman on the specifics of it. But I emphasized to him, of course, what our reform that is already in works and we've applied for with the administration, how that needs to set a model for the country. And I hope that whatever they do fits in with that and does not undercut it in any way. And secondly, I'm anxious, like everyone, as we look at what the details of the Senate bill will be. I recognize the challenge that they face, but my message was that we've got to continue the federal-state partnership, and we can't have a massive cost shift to the states that would really move us back in terms of our health care access in Arkansas. So just like everyone else, I'm waiting for Thursday for the Senate bill to come out. We will study it. We'll have ample time to comment on that.
Governor, do you intend to make any announcements concerning possible projects? Have you had any meetings with potential partners for projects here in Arkansas?
We're breaking it up a little bit, but I think I got the gist of it. And the answer is there were enough good meetings left a high level of excitement about potential of the future. There's not any announcements, but we've had some very good meetings, and I think there's a lot of potential for the future. But as you know, these things take time, take repeat visits sometimes, a lot of nurturing, but we're on the right track, and sure had a whole series of great meetings. I think we're having a challenge of connection, but thank you for giving me. We look forward to seeing you back in Arkansas. We'll be returning on Saturday, so y'all have a good rest of the week. Thank you very much.